Well, knowing what I think I know about the world, nobody would ever believe what I would say, but I'm not going to say it. There is a simple answer to the meaning of life and all that stuff. The thing about it is that each person has their thing that keeps them going. And that's what keeps you living. And all these things we've got in the world, all these problems, sin, good, bad, all that, is just to keep us active. Because if you're not active, then you're pretty much dead in one way or another. You're dead in movement. You're dead in thought. I mean, there's a lot of different ways of being dead without ever actually being dead. And, I mean, the American dollar is backed by debt. That's the value of it, is the willingness to trade it. And like anything that's cycling, like money or blood or anything like that, or the temperature of the earth, the atmosphere that keeps the earth's constantly moving around, and planets are constantly moving, which drives things on the planet to keep moving, the seasons and everything. And in our bodies, we've got things that are constantly moving. That's all life. It's all life. And someone wants to be dead, what they're talking about is pretty much losing the capacity to have choice. Because once you're dead, you don't have any choices. Whatever you get in death, if you think death is the end of it, there's no way of knowing. And it's probably best not to think that, the only thing that would drive me to death is if I had no capacity to move, no capacity to think, no capacity. There would be a whole lot of things that I would be dead in already that would kind of make living pointless. I don't think pain is enough. I know people who are in pain and they still have a vitality for life. Lady that I went to church with, her name was Joy Bush. She had extreme arthritis, such that she had lost fingers in the process of it. But it didn't stop her from getting up in the morning and having something to do, and she was always, happy. Her name, Joy, just described exactly, it was a well-picked name because it described her to a T. She was always joyful. She was always doing things. And, she was a beacon of life, a beacon of happiness for a lot of people, like a fountain of youth, a fountain of life. And I think part of that was what drove her, was all the other things that she could be involved with. She could have spent her entire life concerned about the pain of arthritis, or she could spend her life being involved in other people's lives. And that's what drove her. You could see it, that's what it was. She was a teacher. She was an English teacher. And one of the things she did was go to China to teach English to Chinese people, which is the only thing that will permit you to do anything else in China for the Chinese government, is that they'll permit you to go over there and teach English. They don't care if you bring religion with you. And she brought the Bible with her. And that's, And she was always talking to me, she would always be like addressing me and sharing something with me. And she was doing that with a lot of people, but she really did it with me. And so that kind of made me feel, um, you know, special. It made me feel like there was a purpose for me to be there. And, and I've forgotten a lot of what she said to me, but I can remember that need to be interactive, like she was apprenticing me for something. And I think really all it is that I just share information, and I share, maybe I inspire some people, but I always get the feeling that no matter how much I say, it's not going to set the world afire, or at least I'm not going to perceive it. They're going to take me and move me into another parallel universe. And, the danger for me is to actually be even noticed, to even have an ego, to even have popularity. Because I do quite fine sharing information without any praise. And so that's what I do. Anyhow, and so I can only imagine what sort of inspiration I'm spreading to the parallel universes that I just happen to have left. And the reason why I believe there is a parallel universes, or there's things like that, is because they had this thing called quantum entanglement. And I came to the realization that if you notice that the electron is spinning, then it's a sign that something having to do with consciousness is having an effect over the universe, or the little piece of space that you're in. And that's what makes me believe that there's parallel universes, that we're each in like a little virtual container, and we've been swapped from one to the other. So if you think that things aren't going right, you probably are wrong all along. It says in the Bible that the knowledge of man is foolishness. And maybe that's the reason why, is that you don't really know what's going on. You don't really know what the game is. And your sense of reality may not actually be real. It may not be what you think it is. And you may never know until the very end what has been going on. So that's just my opinion. It's possible nothing has ever changed. It's possible that's all in my mind. But I get this feeling that I'm being, that if what I shared with the world was to actually be incorporated in what people did, it would probably be the end of the world, or it would be the end of something. It would probably have such a profound effect that it would stop everything from working. And that's because the reason why I think that is because some of the stuff that I think of is so deep. I mean, that there's so many things that could go wrong that haven't gone wrong. And the reason why that is, they could have had a nuclear war after having the have a nuclear bomb drop. The whole world could have been blown up and completely incinerated. What keeps those things from happening? And it's completely beyond me. It's the number of things that could go wrong is numerous, and it keeps going on. And that's kind of a clue to everyone that reality isn't what you think it is. That the ideas in your head of all the things that could go wrong are really just in your head, and that you don't really realize what is in control or who's in control of the whole thing. So we have all these fears that drive us all the time, but maybe that's the only purpose for the fear in the first place, to keep us active, to keep us lively and have some sort of thing we're pursuing. But at the very basics of it, you would be better off probably just finding something to do, something to keep your mind active. And because as I've said about stress, that can end your life. And so stressing out on things that you don't understand or that you don't have the capacity to even know, you have to kind of let a little bit of a magic into the world. I mean, if you don't feel you really know it, or you feel like you shouldn't have the capacity to even think you know it, you can believe in a little bit of magic. Not that you can control anything through magic, but that magic can happen. You let the magic happen. You let life happen. You keep positive, optimistic. But the world would not be what it is without everybody involved. And so eliminating somebody from the world is not going to make the world any better. It's always going to be screwed up. The thing is what keeps you moving, what keeps you happy and involved and doing things. That's what I find the meaning of life is life itself. The meaning of life is to have the capacity to make choice and to seek out happiness. And what is happiness? For me, it's novelty. It's having something to do, keeping myself active, keeping myself from pondering or just like being stuck on one idea for a long time. That can drive me, but if it's something that's negative, like a fear of something, that's not good. And I've been fearful a good bit of my life, and there's still things that make me fearful. But it's just, as I say to people about demons, is they really come to you to kind of give you a kick in the ass. They come up to you, they praise you a little bit, get your ego up, and then one comes around to kick you in the ass, to help you realize that you're easily influenced by the wrong stuff. The other day I thought that something happened because because the Lord was helping me or something, and I came out to the realization that I was really fooling myself. I was certain that I spent a lot of money on my on food. And then I thought, well, it's the feeding of the 5,000, and that's what happened to me. And and then I came to find out that I just completely misinterpreted the receipt. And because I went and checked my bank account, and it had like $360, not $200, what I thought was being spent. And so I just like, okay, so but it made me feel good for a little while. You fool yourself a little bit, and then you feel good, and then something comes around and lets you know that you're a fool. That's the reason why I'm wearing this t-shirt right now, is because right now I've done several foolish things, and I just have to keep reminding me there's a little demon inside. There is in everyone. And when they really come into power is whenever you're at your worst. And that takes in the form of being self-righteous, egotistic, feeling like somehow you're benefiting the world, or that you've done something great, because your brain gives you a little bit of dopamine and makes you feel good. But the reality, once you come down off of it, is that nothing special happened. And but the thing to do is just keep in mind, have something in your head that says you tried to do your best, because that's all you can do. Sometimes you do things and you really don't know why. And the thing is to relinquish control is a good bit of it, is to realize that you're not in control, and to try not to do anything about it when you have no control, to let it be that you have no control, to stop trying to have control, because that can keep you stuck. That can keep you from ever getting out of a situation, is to always be trying to control it. And so relinquishing control, relaxing, this is kind of like something that Jackie Chan would do in the drunken master style karate. And I had a karate teacher who talked about this and said it was a technique. What you do is, if somebody is holding you, to basically relinquish control of your body, and you'll start to fall, and then they will find it hard to hold you, because you're not in a position for them to have control over you, because you've relinquished your control. Their control is diminished, because in order to hold you, they must keep you straight and in a form. So relinquishing control can actually be a method of control. So, every now and then I put one of these videos up, and then I just kind of forget about it. It's my way of praying, in a way, because that's what prayer is. It's taking the things that you're concerned about, or things that you feel like could inspire or help somebody, or just the novelty of doing it. You make it, and then you put it out there. Maybe somebody watches it, maybe they don't, but you felt like you did something good, and you did it. And now you can go on and do something else that you really love, and not feel like you haven't done anything all day.